Roughly a quarter of the entire budget of the government goes towards Social Security. What are your thoughts on overall retirement income, Social Security? Should we push out the retirement age? Is this something that we should be dealing with, or just say, okay, we need to take care of the people that have worked their entire life and maybe not been financially prudent, and then give them Social Security?
Well, Social Security was never intended mathematically nor philosophically or nor politically to be your retirement plan.
Couldn't it have worked shaken out mathematically if they just kept individual accounts for each person for the most part?
That's how it should
honey,
be.
if we had individual accounts and put it in 2%, I mean, it has a negative rate of return. Social Security is a negative rate of return. So if we just put it in there and didn't spend it and gave it back out, you'd have more. If you just broke even. But if you put it in an account and got 2%, God, if you put it in an account and got 7%, you'd have like bazillions of dollars more. Bush tried to talk about privatizing a portion of it.
What happened?
W. And he got just destroyed politically because my grandmother is not going to be able to eat because of these evil Republicans and all this garbage came out. So, but I mean, the math on Social Security, it is the worst possible investment. When Bush was doing that, I was on the show and I would come out and say, here's the math, guys. At that time, I was like 40 something years old. I said, okay, I've paid in for 25 years. If you just won't make me pay in anymore, you can keep all I've given you. I'll opt out, completely opt out. I'll not take it.
See,
And
I would too.
will kick your butt with the remaining 20 years of my earning power. I'll be just fine with the money I would have paid into Social Security, putting it into a CD. I would have had 10 or 20x what they're going to pay me now at 65 years old.
Why can't you opt out?
Because it's just
I
a
would
tax.
love
Really?
for
It's
that
just
to be
another
just
tax. It's not like an
but the thing is,
actual-
the reason
Because
why
the smart people would, and that would only leave the dumb people.
the reason why is because current workers pay for the people who are currently on Social Security.
Yeah.
So all of our money goes to them,
because
and then future generations
the
go
quote,
towards
trust fund
us.
has been robbed long ago. There's no trust fund. It's a cash flow mechanism now. But yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, and so like pastors, preachers can opt out on the grounds of I object to the system on a religious basis, which as a Christian I could easily do because it's a horrible use of God's money. So I object to it on a religious basis, but I'm not a preacher, so I can't do it. But when preachers ask me, should I opt out? I'm like, oh yeah.
So you're saying everyone should become a preacher?
Apparently.
That's a great side hustle video right there.
But it's only
frugal
your-
life hacks.
The
Become a
sad thing is
preacher.
it's only your pastoral income you can opt out on. So if you have a side
'Cause there-
hustle,
there's
if you
probably
have
a way you could
anything
be,
else you
know,
get
some
is,
entity
is still subject
structuring.
to the system.
You could
but yeah.
shift
Yeah,
income
money.
from
But yeah,
one to another.
what do we got to replace? You got to have a retirement plan. Duh.
Mhm.
You got to have long-term disability because if you become disabled as an adult, you get SSI, which is a function of Social Security. And if you die, your kids are taken care of with Social Security. And so you need life insurance. But duh, you need all three of those things anyway if you're a responsible adult. That's part of financial planning. You need a retirement plan, you need long-term disability, and you need life insurance to take care of your family if something happens to you. That's basic financial planning. You need to be doing that anyway, pastor. So just do what you're supposed to do anyway and opt out and use the money you would have been given those doofuses to fund your personal life, and you'll come out way better off.
So what is your balance then between having a social safety net and taking personal responsibility?
I spoke in a church the other day, and I was showing them the numbers that if we spend in America, if we took 20% of our Halloween budget and 20% of our pet budget, we the people could take care of we the people. Easy. There'd be no hungry kids. You could fund every harvest food bank, every hungry kid in America. There would be no hunger, except for systemic problems. But I mean, mathematically, there'd be the money to feed every hungry kid in America. 20% of your Halloween budget, 20% of your pet budget.
How much are people spending on Halloween and pets?
Oh, it's billions and billions and billions every year. I didn't even touch Christmas. I'm not the Grinch. Okay. So, I mean, but our consumption versus our generosity, we the people, and people are not as generous because they think it's the government's job, and it's not. It's your job. If we would take care of each other, we could put the government out of business. We can make them irrelevant. And then suddenly, all these discussions start to have a different flavor. So one of my massive goals is just to increase outrageous generosity by typical individuals to a point that it actually makes a macro impact.
What would you say are the best real world applications of generosity for average people?
You just look for something that is loving people well that are struggling. And how can I fund hungry children? How can I fund something to keep, this huge problem with sex trafficking? Take something like St. Jude's Hospital. It's only like a couple billion to run one of those things. And that's nothing out of our consumption budgets. Nothing. You could build 37 of those things in 1 year if you just dial back a little bit of consumption and said, okay, we're all going in the charitable hospital business, all of us together. And it's not required, but it's inspired. And that's the difference in taxation and generosity.
I suppose this is a very weird niche dilemma to bring up, but every single time that I've given to a charitable organization, I have gotten probably 2 to 3 letters in the mail every single month for years.
Yep.
Because of that, which is obviously not anything, horrible. But we did St. Jude's.
Yeah, we did St.
We
Jude.
did St. Jude's this year.
Yeah.
But every time that so far, and you don't know where the money's going, which I guess is also up to the charity. They could also tell you
up
exactly.
to you to ask. You could just say, okay, are your books open? And their books are open, by the way. You could, if you want to know where their money is going, just ask them. They got it. You can jump on their site and look at it.
I like doing things where I could see the impact or see the person.
Tipping.
But I'll give you a good example. This is the most memorable for me is I was eating sushi and it was maybe 9:30 at night and I see a mom come in with her 4-year-old and she's doing DoorDash. And I'm thinking, she's a hard worker at 9:30 at night picking up sushi with her kid. She can't get a babysitter, so I gave her $100. And that I felt great about because she's out there working and $100 for her, I'm sure would go a long way. That made me feel good to see the impact that has on a person and to see the reaction when you do something like that.
And all the studies tell us that when you can see the impact, the generosity increases. And so, how do we do that at $1 million level instead of $100 level? And see the impact. And you can do it. I mean, you don't have to give to some monolith and not throw the money into some black thing and never know where it went out there. But, for that matter, it's not unusual for wealthy people to just start something and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go put a stop to at least some sex trafficking. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to make sure that these kids get fed. And that means we're going to set up a food bank here and I'm going to make sure it's funded and I'm going to watch the people come in and get the food. And you do it with $1 million instead of 100. But yeah, I agree with you. The tipping activates that part of your DNA that we're talking about right now. But if we did that at a macro level, you do away with Social Security because Dave Ramsey doesn't need Social Security. I don't have to have it. I'm fine. Mm-hmm. Whatever, $1,500 a month or something, right? I don't need it.
Are you collecting Social Security?
I will. I'm 64. I'm getting ready to be 65.
So you've delayed it to try to get the maximum amount.
Yeah, at a certain age, you just have to take it.
It's not.
I mean,
I don't.
What are you going to do with it?
I don't even know it's there. It'll just go into the account and we'll just keep going. But that the point is that you said the folks that are struggling. How do we take care of them? How do we have a safety net? I don't need a safety net. Because I've done my job, right? And for people that have done their job, they don't need a safety net. So, but also it's not fair to take the money away from me because I have paid in for 50 freaking years, and so that wouldn't be equitable. That wouldn't be correct. But socially, we could do it with a non-governmental process, and people are cared for and loved, and think about most of the universities were started as Christian institutions. Most of the hospitals in America were started not by the medical industry, but by the healing arts. And these were people doing this as an act of love, as an act of generosity with wealth that they had built. And it was the private sector taking care of the private sector. And there's a lot going on that's very good in that area. But man, you could make the government irrelevant mathematically, and it would be an awesome day.
If you've ever been denied a car loan, credit card, or even an apartment because of what's on your credit report, you are not alone. Most people don't even know what's hurting their credit score, let alone how to fix it. That is exactly where our sponsor DisputeBeast comes in. It's an AI-powered platform that helps you find and remove outdated or inaccurate items from your credit report fast.
we're talking things like late payments, old accounts and collections, or even accounts that don't belong to you. Not to mention, how it works is super easy. You connect your credit report and DisputeBeast scans it for negative marks that could be dragging down your score. Then it generates custom dispute letters tailored for your situation. No templates and no guesswork.
You could choose to just download the data and send it to the agencies yourself, or you can use their built-in mail service where they will literally handle everything for you.
It's honestly just really clean and simple to use, and it's built by experts.
So if you're ready to take back control of your credit, go to disputebeast.com/ICH today. There's also a link down below in the description, disputebeast.com/ICH. Guys, they will literally handle everything for you. If you're dissatisfied with your credit, they will do all of the research, let you know what's going wrong, and they will fight for you. disputebeast.com/ICH. Thank you so much to DisputeBeast for sponsoring this clip.